Money has a memory. It remembers the hands that held it with fear and the hearts that released it with faith. Tonight, you are not here by accident. Something in your spirit has been whispering that the way you've been living, counting bills, fearing the rent, watching the price of gas rise like a cruel tide, cannot be all there is. You feel it, don't you? That quiet ache when the credit card statement arrives, the tightening in your chest as if an invisible chain were wrapped around your ribs. That chain is not made of iron. It's made of belief. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Your word is your wand." And tonight, that wand will be fire. Take a simple piece of paper. Feel its texture. This is no longer paper. This is a mirror of your hidden fears. Write down the debts, the numbers that haunt your mind, the names of what keeps you awake at night. You are not writing to the bank. You are writing to your past self, the one who believed that lack was real. Now, imagine a candle in front of you. Its flame dances like a golden serpent, ancient and alive. Bring the paper close, not yet to burn, only to let the heat kiss the ink. Smell the faint smoke that hasn't yet risen. Hear the soft crackle of possibility. In this sacred act, you are not destroying. You are transforming. For what the flame touches, consciousness renews. A woman named Elena once did this ritual. She was drowning in bills, her fridge empty, her account negative. But she burned her list, whispering, "Debt, you have taught me discipline. Now I release you." Within 48 hours, she received an unexpected payment from an old freelance client, exactly the amount she needed for rent. Was that coincidence or divine precision? Florence would say, "Never early, never late, always exact." As the paper turns to ash, say softly, "Wealth flows, dollars come, abundance is mine." Let those words linger on your tongue like honey. You are not commanding money. You are remembering it. You are calling back a part of yourself that once trusted the invisible law. Do you hear the faint hum around you? That is energy aligning. The ash on your palm is no longer waste. It is proof. Proof that you are willing to release what was heavy. Proof that fire obeys the faithful. Do not blow away the ashes yet. Hold them. They are your contract with the unseen, because when something is burned in truth, it cannot return in fear. Stay with me. Close your eyes. Listen to the silence between your breaths. That is where money begins, not in banks, not in wallets, but in the unseen rhythm that answers every word you speak. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the universe is not ruled by effort, but by vibration. Your thoughts are currency, your emotions, the ink that prints your fortune. Each time you speak about lack, you write another check of scarcity. But each time you bless a dollar, you multiply it beyond reason. Look again at the ashes in your hand. They seem lifeless, don't they? Yet within them lies the same carbon that forms diamonds. The flame didn't erase your debt. It transmuted it. What you burned was the story of limitation. And that story was never true. The truth is older, quieter, stubborn in its grace. You were born wealthy. Not in numbers, but in essence. You carry the same creative spark that moves oceans and grows forests. Let the image form in your mind, a golden thread connecting your heart to every coin, every dollar, every opportunity waiting for your yes. Can you feel it vibrating? That hum you heard before is returning. It's not noise, it's alignment. When Florence wrote, "Nothing stands between man and his highest good but his own fear," she was naming the invisible wall you are now dissolving. A man named Thomas once performed this same ritual. He had lost his job, his savings gone, pride shattered. That night, With trembling hands, he burned his fears on a scrap of notebook paper. 2 days later, a stranger sent him a message, a freelance offer worth 3 times his old salary. The fire had moved faster than logic. Now take a coin, any coin. Feel its cool weight against your skin. This is your teacher for tonight. It doesn't complain about where it's been. It simply circulates, faithful to the law of return. Whisper, I do not chase. I attract. Money knows my name. Let the sound of your own voice anchor this truth. Each syllable is a seed, each breath, rain. The world will try to convince you that wealth comes only from hard labor, from exhaustion, from endless doing. But the magnetic ritual of Florence Shinn reveals something gentler. That receptivity is the highest action. You are not a beggar in front of the universe. You are its reflection, its echo, its pulse. As you hold the coin, imagine light gathering around it, as if the metal remembers heaven. That light is your consciousness reclaiming command. You are no longer asking when the money will come. You are becoming the place it chooses to arrive. The ashes rest. The coin glows. The air feels different now, softer, wider, awake. This is the first gate of the ritual. Release, remembrance, receptivity. We are not finished yet. Now bring a glass of water before you. Clear, still, ordinary. Yet the ancients called it the mirror of the unseen. Every molecule of it listens. Every drop carries memory. Florence Scovel Shinn believed that words charged with emotion become living patterns in matter. If you speak wealth into water, it becomes a current of prosperity. If you speak fear, it turns heavy, motionless, like a debt that refuses to move. So tonight, we command the waters to flow again. Look closely at the glass. See your reflection tremble upon its surface. That is your financial energy in pure form, responsive, delicate, waiting for direction. Think of every overdue bill, every dollar that felt too small, every time you whispered, I can't afford it. Those phrases became vibrations that hardened around you like glass walls. But water knows how to dissolve walls. It remembers freedom. A woman named Serena once performed this ritual after years of struggle. Her business was collapsing. Her landlord had given her a week to pay. That night, she filled a cup with water, held it against her heart, and said, As I drink, I dissolve every lie of lack. She took a single sip and cried, not from fear, but from relief. Within 48 hours, a client she thought was lost returned, paying double her rate. The invoice arrived like a tide, finally turning. Now, place your right hand above the water and whisper, Wealth flows, dollars come, abundance is mine. Say it again, slower, until your pulse aligns with the rhythm of the words. Watch how the surface trembles, as if recognizing you. You are programming the element that carries life through every being. You are reminding creation of its original promise to multiply whatever you believe. When you drink, imagine golden light entering your body, moving through your chest, expanding your lungs, washing away the invisible residue of worry. Feel it cleansing the space between your thoughts. You are no longer begging for money to come. You are allowing it to circulate through you like breath. Florence would tell you, faith never fails to move. And movement is the sign that the ritual has begun. Maybe tomorrow you'll find a coin on the sidewalk, or receive an unexpected text about a refund, or feel a sudden calm where panic used to live. These are not accidents. They are confirmations. Keep a small bowl of this blessed water near your workspace for 24 hours. Let it evaporate naturally. With every drop that disappears, imagine a burden leaving your field. This is how the invisible economy of faith operates, silently, faithfully, precisely. Let us continue. Have you noticed how smoke rises after the flame dies? It doesn't rush, it dances. It doesn't fight gravity, it negotiates with it. That is the language of wealth, not force, but rhythm. Florence Scovel Shinn called it divine timing, and she insisted that money is never late. It moves in exact harmony with your belief, never early, never delayed, always precise. Those who panic between bills and paychecks are not cursed, they are simply out of rhythm. Tonight, you are learning to move again with the tempo of abundance. Take the ashes from your ritual. Hold them gently in your palm. Whisper, "You are time dissolved." Watch as a faint dust lifts into the air. That dust is every anxious thought that once tried to control when things should happen. The universe has its own calendar, and it never miscounts. There was once a man named Raphael. For months, he had repeated Florence's affirmations. "I have perfect timing. My supply is instant and inexhaustible." Yet nothing seemed to happen. His rent was due, his car was gone, but he refused despair. Instead, he burned his list of worries and said, "I trust the schedule of heaven." The next morning, he received an email from an old employer, a forgotten commission check, cleared overnight. The amount covered every bill. Divine timing had simply waited for his surrender. Money, too, obeys surrender. It is repelled by tension and drawn to ease. The way you breathe right now tells the universe how ready you are. Inhale slowly. Hold. Exhale softly. Let your shoulders fall. That relaxation is not laziness. It is permission. When you are calm, you become magnetic. Now, light another small candle if you can. Watch the smoke spiral upward. Imagine it carrying every word you've spoken tonight. Every "thank you," every "I receive." The smoke writes letters in the invisible world, messages that reach where logic cannot. Florence wrote, "The invisible forces are ever working for the man who is always working for the invisible." Repeat after me. I release my deadlines. I trust the rhythm. I live in divine order. Let each word leave your mouth like smoke, unhurried, graceful, sure. The air around you will start to feel different, as if listening. Perhaps you'll hear a soft inner voice whisper, "Wait 2 days." That is not delay. That is alignment. In these 48 hours, unseen arrangements are forming, emails written, calls prepared, hearts softened in your favor. When the smoke fades, touch your heart once and say, "Never early, never late, always exact." That is the seal of this stage of the ritual. We are not finished yet. Every ritual of light must confront its shadows. Wealth is not only the arrival of money, it is the removal of resistance. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your supply is inexhaustible when your faith is unshakable." But faith is rarely steady at first. It trembles beneath 7 veils, each one woven from a different fear. Tonight, we name them and dissolve them. The first shadow is doubt. It whispers, "What if this doesn't work?" Yet the very act of asking proves belief is already awakening. Doubt is the final guardian of every miracle. Bless it and move through. The second shadow is ridicule. You fear what others will say, burning paper, speaking to water. But remember, ridicule is the tax the brave pay to truth. Florence herself was mocked by the logical world, yet her students became millionaires of peace. The third shadow is logic. It demands evidence before action, forgetting that evidence is the offspring of faith. You cannot wait to see before believing, because sight comes from the belief that light exists. The fourth shadow is comparison. You scroll through lives that seem richer, easier, shinier, and feel smaller in your own skin. But comparison is counterfeit currency. It buys nothing and bankrupts joy. The fifth shadow is impatience. It asks, "Why not yet?" and breaks the rhythm. The river never rushes, it simply flows. Impatience turns divine timing into delay. Breathe. The sixth shadow is the final test. Just before manifestation, the world may appear worse. Bills might arrive, unexpected expenses surface. That's the shadow gasping before it dies. Endure it, and you'll witness reversal. The seventh shadow is fear, the oldest one. It wears many faces: scarcity, guilt, shame. It whispers that wanting more makes you selfish. But Florence taught, man must be rich to be generous. Abundance multiplies generosity, not greed. Now, place your hand over your heart and repeat. I name my shadows, and they lose their power. Feel warmth spread beneath your palm. That is faith returning to its throne. A woman named Lourdes once performed this invocation while living in her car. She faced each shadow aloud. 2 days later, a friend she hadn't spoken to in years offered her a temporary home, rent-free, and a new job connection. The shadows had bowed. You may sense resistance rising even now, yawning, trembling, sudden tears. These are signs of release. Let them move through you without judgment. The current is clearing its path. Repeat the mantra softly, 3 times. Wealth is my nature. Prosperity is my destiny. Let the vibrations settle like golden dust in the air around you. You are no longer fighting darkness. You are teaching it to shine. Stay with me. Tonight, we call upon reflection, the most ancient of teachers. Take a single dollar or any note that carries value. Hold it in front of a mirror. Look closely. You will see 2 versions of the same symbol, the printed one and the reflected one. This is the secret Florence Scovel Shinn spoke of when she wrote, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Whatever you project returns multiplied. The mirror is not a wall, it is a messenger." Ask yourself quietly, what do I see when I look at money? Guilt? Desire? Distance? The mirror tells the truth you hide from words. Most people see lack because they approach wealth as beggars at a gate. But you are not a beggar. You are the owner of the gate and the keeper of the key. The mirror only repeats what you declare. Take a breath. Say softly, I am not chasing money. I am reflecting abundance. Notice how your posture changes. Shoulders straighten. Eyes sharpen. You have shifted from asking to embodying. The dollar in your hand trembles with possibility. It recognizes command. A young man named Gabriel once did this ritual. He had been jobless for months, convinced that no one would hire him. Every night he stood before the mirror with a wrinkled bill, whispering, I am worthy of payment and praise. Within a week, he was called for an interview he had forgotten applying for. The salary? Exactly the number he had once written on the back of that same dollar. The mirror teaches correspondence. Florence said, as within, so without. When you see lack in your reflection, it multiplies in your world. When you see sufficiency, the universe mirrors it in return. That is why this ritual matters. It retrains the eye before it retrains the bank account. Now, hold the bill against the mirror. Watch light shimmer along its edge. Whisper, I see myself in money, and money sees itself in me. This statement breaks the illusion of separation. The reflection is your ally, not your judge. If you feel emotion rise, tears, laughter, disbelief, let it happen. Emotion is energy finally moving. You are washing the mirror from the inside. Notice how the glass fogs slightly from your breath. That mist carries a promise. The invisible becomes visible. When you finish, fold the dollar neatly and place it under the mirror overnight. In the morning, thank it before touching it. Gratitude seals the vibration. Then spend or donate it within 24 hours. It must move to multiply. You might find that day unusually light, people smiling at you, emails answered faster, coincidences clustering like stars. That is not luck. That is resonance. The mirror has spoken, and the world is listening. We are not finished yet. Gratitude is not manners. It is magnetism. It is the sound the universe responds to faster than any prayer of need. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the law of increase. Whatever you praise expands. Whatever you complain about contracts. Gratitude is not a reaction after receiving. It is the signal that summons the gift before it arrives. Tonight, we form a circle, not of people, but of energy. Take 3 coins, no matter the value. Place them on a flat surface, forming a small triangle. Now, draw an invisible circle around them with your finger while whispering, I give thanks for what I have, and what is coming thanks me already. You have just opened a portal of circulation. A woman named Marisol once performed this gratitude circle in her kitchen. Her refrigerator was nearly empty, her heart heavy. Still, she whispered gratitude for the meal that is already on its way. The next morning, her neighbor knocked, carrying leftover groceries and a note that read, I felt like sharing abundance today. The law of return had answered. Gratitude turns scarcity into seed. Think of every coin before you as a messenger returning home. You don't own them. They travel through you. Florence taught, no man gives to me but God through man. That means every act of generosity is divinely orchestrated. Each dollar that leaves your hand is a prayer disguised as currency. Now close your eyes and remember the last time money arrived unexpectedly. A refund, a small gift, a waived fee. Feel that warmth again. Let it expand from your chest outward until it fills the entire room. Whisper softly, everything I bless blesses me back. That is the golden rule of wealth, repeated by every mystic since time began. If tears come, let them. They are proof that gratitude is washing through old resistance. When you breathe deeply, you may sense lightness, almost laughter, as if the air itself smiles. That is the universe recognizing a familiar tone. When your circle feels complete, take 1 coin and place it near your mirror, another near your pillow, and 1 in your wallet. Each will act as a beacon, reminding the flow to remain unbroken. Do not hoard them. Within 7 days, spend or give them away. The return will not mirror the coin's value, but the vibration behind it. Gratitude is a currency that never devalues. It survives every market, every crisis, every inflation. The grateful heart is the richest bank. Repeat 3 times. Wealth is thankful through me. Prosperity is joyful around me. Let the echo stay in the air like perfume. You are no longer practicing gratitude. You are becoming it. Stay with me. Stand by the doorway of your home. Look at the space between inside and outside. The threshold. Every doorway is a border between two realities, what you have known and what is about to arrive. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Every door locked in fear opens through faith." Tonight, we use that ancient passage as a gate for money itself. Take a dollar bill, crisp or worn, it doesn't matter. Hold it against the frame of your door. Feel the vibration of transition under your fingertips, the warmth of your house on one side, the cool breath of the world on the other. Whisper softly, "I welcome flow. I welcome opportunity. I welcome unexpected wealth." You are no longer asking life to give. You are authorizing it to enter. A man named Javier once performed this ritual after months of rejection. He taped a dollar to his doorframe, saying the same words every morning for 7 days. On the 8th day, a job offer arrived from a company he hadn't heard from in months. The salary? Exactly 8 times what he had been earning. Numbers are never random when spoken in faith. Stand there now and breathe. The threshold listens. It collects every vibration that passes through it. Laughter, anger, silence, prayer. By placing money here, you instruct that invisible doorman called energy to guard what enters and exits. Nothing of lack may pass without transformation. Florence taught, man must prepare for the thing he has asked for. The dollar in the doorway is that preparation. It is an open signature saying, "I am ready." You don't chase, you receive. You don't beg, you invite. Now, take a single step backward, leaving the dollar in place. Feel how your body reacts. Maybe a flutter in your stomach, maybe peace. That sensation is alignment registering. Energy has understood its new command. If you wish, light a small candle near the door for exactly 7 minutes. As the flame flickers, imagine your home glowing from within, each wall humming with abundance. The air thickens with unseen gold. When the candle dies, whisper, "Money comes in peace and leaves in blessing." That phrase seals the portal. In the next 48 hours, observe subtle signals, messages about work, discounts offered, coins found, or sudden clarity about decisions you postponed. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that flow has crossed your doorway. Leave the dollar there overnight. In the morning, place it in your wallet and carry it for 7 days. It is now consecrated currency. It remembers the crossing. Spend it only when you feel absolute joy. Then, it will open more doors wherever it goes. Touch your hand to the doorframe once more and say quietly, "All doors open in divine order." We are not finished yet. Silence is not empty. It is where wealth gathers before it shows its form. In the unseen, before a coin drops, before a payment clears, there is a hum. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the divine vibration of supply. When you tune into that frequency, you no longer chase opportunities, they start to orbit you. But first, you must become still enough to hear. Sit where you are. Let every noise fade until you can sense your own pulse. That rhythm, steady, tireless, is the original sound of money. The same pulse that keeps galaxies moving keeps abundance flowing. Money is not metal or paper. It is motion. When you listen, you remember that you are already part of that motion. Place a coin in your right hand. Do not shake it. Let it rest against your skin. Feel its coolness warming slowly. Now close your eyes and whisper, "I am the sound that calls wealth home." Then listen, truly listen. You may hear nothing at first, or perhaps a faint ring deep within the quiet. That is the gold speaking. It vibrates in recognition. A man named Daniel shared his experience with this very practice. He had been drowning in silence, unemployed, behind on rent, ashamed. But when he began sitting with a coin each night, simply listening, something shifted. On the third evening, he felt a deep peace, followed by an idea so clear it startled him. A service he could offer using his old skills. Within a week, clients appeared. Silence had become strategy. Florence wrote, "There is always supply for every demand. Yet demand is not shouting, it is alignment. The silence of faith is louder than the noise of desperation. The world teaches you to hustle. The Spirit teaches you to harmonize." Now, open your eyes and look at the coin again. It has changed, hasn't it? Its shine seems deeper, as if aware of its new purpose. The coin is no longer an object, it is a witness. Each time you hold it, it recalls this frequency and multiplies it. Whisper again, slower, "I am tuned to the sound of abundance." Let the words vibrate through your chest. Feel your body becoming an instrument, ribs as strings, breath as bow. You are composing your financial symphony right now. Stay in this quiet for 1 full minute. If thoughts of debt or worry arise, imagine them dissolving in the golden resonance surrounding you. They cannot survive this frequency. When you finally rise, leave the coin on a windowsill overnight. The night wind will carry its vibration outward to the people, opportunities, and circumstances that belong to you. By morning, the law of correspondence will have begun its invisible work. Silence, wealth, and you, all part of one eternal rhythm. Let us continue. Look at your hands for a moment. They tell the whole story of your finances. When fear rules, they close. When faith reigns, they open. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, "The open hand never lacks." Every muscle in your palm is a spiritual declaration, either of contraction or expansion. Money obeys that language faster than any word. Stretch your fingers wide. Feel the skin tighten slightly. That tension is the edge of your old belief. Behind it waits freedom. Tonight, the ritual is simple but profound. Give something, not from pressure, but from power. It could be a coin, a compliment, a small act of kindness. The universe measures not the amount, but the energy behind it. Florence used to say, "Giving opens the way for receiving." Yet most people hoard because they mistake safety for scarcity. To the law of prosperity, hoarding is fear wearing perfume. True security comes from flow. Imagine if the ocean tried to hold its waves. It would cease to exist. A woman named Clara once tested this law. She was saving her last $10 for groceries. Still, she felt an inner nudge to give $2 to a stranger who looked hungry. She obeyed, whispering, "What leaves my hand returns multiplied." 2 hours later, her sister called. She had just transferred $200 to her account for no reason. The law of the open hand had spoken. Now, hold your palm up to the light. See the lines that cross it, ancient maps of destiny. In the center, imagine a golden spiral, glowing softly. Whisper, "Everything I give expands. Everything I hold lightly grows." Let that phrase echo until your heartbeat syncs with it. You may feel warmth or tingling. That is the gate of circulation unlocking. If you wish, place a coin or small note in your open hand. Visualize light entering through your palm, wrapping around the money, then moving outward in waves. You are blessing its next journey. It will return with companions, more of its kind, drawn by recognition. Then gently close your fingers and open them again 3 times. This motion signals readiness to give, to receive, to give again. Your hands have become instruments of balance. Tomorrow, act. Give something tangible, even if symbolic. A smile, a coffee, a prayer. The gesture itself is wealth in motion. When you release without fear, you prove to the universe that you understand abundance's secret. Flow sustains itself. By the next sunrise, you may notice unexpected generosity, a waived fee, a compliment, a favor returned. Receive it consciously. It's the echo of your open hand. Whisper one last time, with authority. My hands are the doors of prosperity. They never close. Stay with me. Before every visible blessing, small signs appear, soft, almost shy. Florence Scovel Shinn called them divine hints. They arrive not as thunder, but as whispers, a coin glinting in the streetlight, a sudden memory of someone you haven't called, a phrase about abundance that crosses your path twice in one day. The mind calls them coincidences. The spirit calls them confirmations. Tonight, we learn to read these secret letters from the universe, because prosperity never begins with proof. It begins with perception. Close your eyes. Remember the last time you felt guided. That mysterious alignment where something told you turn here or wait. That's the same intelligence that moves dollars, opportunities, and timing. You are part of it. Take your notebook or a clean sheet of paper. At the top, write evidence of alignment. Below, list every subtle sign of prosperity you've witnessed recently, however small. Maybe someone offered to pay your coffee. Maybe you found a coin near your car. Maybe a random video reminded you that wealth is natural. These are breadcrumbs leading home. Florence wrote, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." By recording these signs, you are proving to the invisible that you are paying attention. Gratitude plus awareness equals acceleration. The universe loves to be noticed. A woman named Helena once began this practice after hearing Florence's words. She had no income, only faith. Each night she wrote 3 small signs: a discount, a gift, a kind word. On the 7th night, she received an unexpected message, an old employer reopening her position with a raise. Her list had become a magnet. Now, take a moment to whisper over your list. What I recognize multiplies. Feel the vibration of those words glide through you like a key turning in a lock. The air shifts subtly, lighter, clearer. That is resonance taking form. If you wish, fold the page and place it under a candle for 1 hour. As the wax melts, imagine the written words rising like prayers carried by heat. Each letter becomes a command, each dot an instruction to the unseen. More like this: when the candle dies, place the page beneath your pillow. The dream world will take note. Florence often said, "The subconscious never sleeps." You may wake with ideas, nudges, or an unexpected calm that precedes manifestation. For the next 48 hours, stay alert. The whispers will grow louder. Numbers repeating, messages of gold, the word abundance flashing somewhere random. Do not dismiss them. They are not noise, they are invitations. Look at your hands, your paper, your breath. Everything around you is signaling wealth in transit. We are not finished yet. Every ritual ends the way rivers end, not in silence, but in merging. Tonight, all the elements you've touched, fire, water, smoke, breath, mirror, and coin, meet here in one current. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, there is a place that you are to fill, and no one else can fill it. That place is now open. The doorway you blessed, the paper you burned, the dollar you reflected. All of it was preparation for this moment, to remember who commands wealth, not who chases it. Sit with your spine straight, both palms facing upward. Inhale deeply. imagining a golden light entering through the crown of your head. It descends slowly, touching your eyes, your throat, your heart. When it reaches your hands, feel it gather, heavy yet kind, pulsing like liquid sunlight. Whisper, "I am a natural receiver. Money always finds me." These words are not desire, they are recognition. You are naming what has been true since birth. Florence wrote, "Man's word is his wand." You have spoken, and the wand has moved. The ritual is now a law in motion. Somewhere beyond your walls, events are aligning, a call being made, an idea remembered, a door unlocking with your name on it. You need not force it, only remain open. Now, visualize every ritual object, ashes, coin, mirror, water, glowing in a circle of light before you. One by one, see them dissolve into brightness, merging into a single orb. That orb floats toward your chest, entering through the heart, resting behind your sternum. You have become the altar. The temple is no longer outside. It is you, a man named Elias, once reached this point of the ritual. He whispered the final words 3 times, then went to sleep. The next morning, his bank app showed a deposit from a client who had ignored him for months. The message attached read, "Forgot I owed you this." The law of flow had closed its loop. Now, repeat after me slowly, 3 times with full breath and faith. It is finished, it is done, and it cannot be otherwise. Let the vibration echo through your bones. Feel the stillness after the words fade. That stillness is confirmation. The work has shifted from visible to invisible hands. If you can light one final candle, as it burns, whisper gratitude, not for what's coming, but for what already exists. Every flicker is a heartbeat of the divine, saying yes. When the flame expires, touch your heart once more and say, "And so it is." Before you leave this sacred space, seal your intention with action. Comment your testimony, your affirmation, your faith within 48 hours. Subscribe now to remain in this current of abundance. And if this ritual touched you, offer your gratitude through super thanks. It completes the circle of giving and receiving. Each story, each act of faith, multiplies the current for all. You have crossed the threshold. The ritual is complete, yet the current continues. Every breath from now on says one truth. Wealth was never outside. It was always remembering its way back to you. Stay awake in prosperity. And so it is.